Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm recording Rissa, and you are watching my top 10 latest NBA trades. I'm going to be talking with my, NBA head, the person who introduced me to the world of basketball, because I'm pretty new to this as well. I think I went to my first NBA game ever, 2 years ago, and it was a Wizards game. I am a Wizards fan, by the way, so I'll just preface with that. But I'm also a Celtics fan, and I really just like good basketball. And I'm just interested in seeing the players succeed and be on the best teams that are for them and that will help them get their win. So I'm going to introduce my partner, Chase Duffy, and you can check out his channel as well, Chronicles of Chase. And he does a lot of cool gameplay videos and storytelling. So if you want to check those out, go to his channel. Also, if you like the content in this video, please like and subscribe. Again, this is a basketball trade video, so we're just going to be talking about the top 10 latest trades that have been going on over the past week or so. All right, let's jump into number 10, and I'm going to introduce Chase. Hi, everyone. So I'm here with my partner, Chase.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, and we are a little bit under the weather today, so just keep that in mind. We got our mic to help us project a little, but we are a little sore in the throat area, so be patient with us, okay? But yeah, let's just jump into it. The biggest trade that everyone's talking about is Luka Doncic. So he made the trade from the Mavs to the Lakers, and now I just kind of wonder, because I feel like all I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that this is just not something that typically happens ever, especially since they were in the finals last year, I believe, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty unprecedented for a star to be traded and they didn't ask for the trade because it's so hard to get players of this caliber on your team, especially if you're the Dallas Mavericks, who haven't had a great time in signing free agents in their history.
How many times have they made it to the finals recent history, like the past 5 years?
I mean, I think they made the finals twice. Maybe there was a third time in there, but I'm pretty sure it was only 2 times. They won with, what's his name, Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering if Luka didn't perform in a scheduled amount of time that they were expecting him to do, or
I mean, no, that's kind of the crazy thing is that he's been performing at a much higher rate than most people in the league, period. So,
what's going on with that?
yeah, it's kind of perplexing, especially you could say who he got traded for.
Yeah, Anthony Davis, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Anthony Davis was shocked about the trade to the Mavs, but I don't know. Is it normal for players to not know that they're about to be traded like that?
No,
Okay.
not players of this
Caliber.
Yeah, the trades that we're going to get to down the road, stars were very much so aware of the fact that they were being traded and even the list of teams that they wanted to be traded to.
Yeah.
And the fact that neither Luka nor AD had any idea this was happening is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Unorthodox.
Has there been any inside info as to what was going on in the past week, or nothing? It's all been tight.
I mean, it's all just speculation.
Sure.
You know, I mean, we heard the ESPN announcer saying, "Oh, Luka's fat. He got traded because he's fat," which is silly because if you look at his numbers, just who cares if you're carrying a little bit extra weight? You can say that about Jokic too, but he's a 3-time MVP. I don't know. It's pretty hard to figure out. It's also tough for Doncic just in the sense that he was going to have the opportunity to sign a $360 million contract this summer.
Dang.
And trading him now brings the total amount down to 250. So overnight he lost 110 million. And I'm sure he's trying to figure out
what to do with that. Yeah. How do you bounce back? I'm sure though, now that he's on the Lakers, he's gonna be playing harder than ever and trying to I feel like I've seen the memes about if he plays against the Mavs again, he's gonna go in on them.
Well, I mean, there's LeBron came out to LA 4 or 5 years ago, in part because of the deals you can make on the side and the amount of money you can make compared to Dallas or Cleveland. So even though he's losing 110 million, he's Luka Doncic and he has 250. I'm sure he'll recoup the 107 in endorsements. And
so he'll bounce back.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
All right, sweet. Not like I was personally worried, but just curious. All right, so we're gonna jump into our next trade, which is gonna be Dennis Schroeder. All right, just kidding, guys. We're gonna jump into the Jimmy Butler and Andrew Wiggins situation really quick. And I think one thing I know, I've just done a little bit of research, and I'm not a big basketball head, so please, this is why I have my resident, basketball nerd. But basically, from what I understand, there was a specific game that Butler pretty much got blamed for the loss, and that was like a turning point. I feel like. I don't know.
I don't know. There are people who are saying now that he's been quiet quitting the entire year because all of his numbers are down, and it wasn't a one game thing. Like he wanted to leave. We're not sure why. I guess probably because he's getting old and wants a chance to win a championship, and didn't feel like it was going to happen in Miami. But then it got really contentious between him and Pat Riley, the president of the Heat. And, been suspended like 10 or 11 games.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah.
There's a loss of like 4 or 5 million, talking about losing money.
So, okay, I know this is a dumb question, but do players not get paid for each game they miss?
If you're suspended, no.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
but if it's an injury, you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so, I don't know. But then once he signed, or I don't know, got traded to the Warriors, he signed a 2-year, $110 million extension. So that was a piece of why he was pushing to get traded as well. He felt like Miami wasn't going to re-sign him, and so he wanted to be somewhere that they were going to give him that money.
Okay, so they traded Jimmy for Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. Do you think that makes sense as just like with the beef that was happening on the Heat?
Yeah, and they said they wanted players that could help them win now as well. So it's nice, like, a little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of trade where you don't have to get no draft capital. You still have the first round pick, but Andrew Wiggins and Kyle Anderson can actually come in and help the team. Jimmy Butler was not helping the Miami Heat this year.
He was not with it. Yeah,
that's part of why they started suspending him. So.
And I do know him for his emo hair, which is really fun. Maybe he'll bring that sense of fun to the Warriors, and he'll be playing with Steph Curry. So maybe he does have a better shot at getting a championship, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how the Warriors have really upgraded in a way that makes them a championship contender with Andrew Wiggins and Kyle Anderson gone to get Jimmy Butler, and especially they're in the West, so they have. The Thunder right now, the Grizzlies, the Lakers just got Luka Doncic and LeBron. The Suns said they're not trading KD, so there's a lot of teams to get through in the West. I don't know if they could make it to a finals or win one.
Yeah. Well, I bet Jimmy's really hoping that they do, because after this trade, and after I feel like losing all that money, he's trying to get his comeback, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure he and Steph and Draymond and everyone else, Steve Kerr, all want to win a championship out there.
Yeah.
We'll see. Everyone wants it.
Right. Also, I feel like if you're leaving South Beach for San Francisco, you better get your mind on your money, start focusing on your work.
Yeah, I don't know if
the city makes a difference.
I don't know if Jimmy Butler was necessarily unfocused, except for when he intentionally became unfocused to try to get traded. Well, that's the tea on Jimmy and Andrew. We're going to jump into the next trade in just a second. All right, so we're going to talk about the De'Aaron Fox and Zach LaVine trade, right? And so the Kings traded De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs, and the word on the street right now is that, one, they probably have a better chance because this could be a dynamic duo with Wembanyama. Is that true, you think? Definitely is. People were even surprised. Because De'Aaron Fox requested a trade last week, kind of connects to the whole stars usually know when they're about to be traded.
Yeah, that
Jimmy
makes
Butler
sense.
knew. I don't know if Andrew Wiggins or Kyle Anderson knew. They're probably in that boat of. But then they're not as big a stars as Jimmy Butler and De'Aaron Fox. But so he had requested a trade, and then he came out and said publicly, "I want to go to the Spurs," which they've been a terrible team for a long time. That's how they got Wembanyama, basically since Kawhi left. But people see how special Wembanyama is, and
they want to play with him.
Yeah, he wanted to get down there, so it's definitely going to help jumpstart the Spurs. Well, yeah, and just probably some great defense, bro. He finally has a true point guard, so we'll see.
That's what I love. That's how little I know. I don't even know these players' positions. So bear with me, okay? All right. So this back to being the Bulls traded him to Sacramento, right? And you were saying that the Sacramento said they'd want him more than they'd want what's his name?
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, they were before they had made the trade. The Kings actually came out publicly and, like De'Aaron Fox said, we would rather have the 27-year-old than the 36-year-old. I think there's the difference in ages.
So like 9 years. Yeah.
Definitely makes a difference when you're talking about athlete age and
Just like their ability to like keep up, I guess. Yeah. And
Yeah.
like their longevity. Because like the older you get, the less time you got technically in the game. Unless you're like, what's his name? LeBron.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and we'll see how it works out for him. Zach LaVine's been up and down with injuries the last couple of years, but could help him.
And what position does he play?
Like shooting guard.
Shooting guard. Okay. All right, we're almost halfway through this list. I guess we are halfway through this list. We're going to jump into our next trades in just a second. Thanks for keeping up with us. Again, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Also, if you think we're saying anything dumb, leave it in the comments because I really want to learn and hear your opinions. And like, I don't know, it's like nice to have this discourse, all right? All right, so we're going to talk about a trade that affects me personally as a Wizards fan. And I know you're like, why on earth would you ever be a Wizards fan? You clearly know nothing about basketball or the history of the losing Wizards. And let me tell you, I'm so tired of people moving to DC and being like, I love DC, blah, 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 but not holding it down for the DC home teams, okay? So as a DMV native, I'm like, I'm going to hold it down for my NBA team, which is the Wizards. I don't care how much they lose. Now, that being said, I have a Kyle Kuzma jersey, and turns out he's being traded to the Bucks. So I'm like, okay, what does Chris Middleton have to offer the Wizards? Because I'm really scared that we're gonna do worse, if that's possible.
I don't know if it's possible to do worse.
Okay.
We talked about off camera, off channel earlier this year how the Wizards have had 2 16-game losing streaks in the same single season, and we haven't even made it to All-Star break. So I don't know if you could do worse than the Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole Wizards. Maybe the Chris Middleton,
Yeah.
Jordan Poole, and one other player who we're going to talk about, Wizards, will have a little more pride.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully. I don't even know if Kyle was really feeling DC to begin with, you know.
I feel like he was feeling DC. He just
Yeah.
wasn't. He was the number 2 option on a team that knew they were going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And so they
He
just
needs
let
a
him.
win. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like being a 3rd or 4th option and like he actually has to not take insane shots will make him a better, more efficient basketball player than.
And so, what's the Bucks standing? Obviously, they're doing better than the Wizards, but
Honestly, I can't really say. I feel like they're in 5th or 6th.
Okay.
They haven't been.
They're not
there
number
as well.
one, yeah.
I mean, the Cavs have been the surprise number 1, even above the old Celtics. But the Celtics are keeping pace, and
yeah.
I think it's the Knicks after them. Maybe the Bucks are 4th, but that's the highest they could be.
Okay.
Not exactly where they wanted to be. Also, kind of weird to see them trade a player that they won a championship with for Kyle Kuzma. We'll see if it works out for him.
Yeah, I guess they're banking on potential, not like what's already been produced, you know.
Yeah, Chris Middleton's had injury issues and other things, so
okay.
that's definitely factored in. But
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Wizards is a perfect team to have him get back on his game, you know. And especially if he's been a part of a team that won the championship. I'm not expecting the Wizards to have a championship win or anything. I'm just hoping that they can get off like a 16-game losing streak type of vibe, you know? Anything is better than this current season. As long as they improve, I will be happy. Okay, we have one last... I guess we have 2 more trades to talk about. Which one do you want to do? Dennis Schroeder or Marcus Smart?
we could do Marcus Smart since we're on the Wizards subject.
All right. So Marcus Smart has joined the Wizards. Bye bye Grizzlies, which is exciting for me. And so yeah, they traded him for a first round pick, right? Or was he traded and he was
Yeah, I
traded?
think they sent a first round pick with him because he's making too much money, and so they needed to dump his salary to a team that could pay him, like the Wizards, because they're not. They weren't using him at like 17 million a year.
Yeah.
Right?
And the Wizards could use it, you know. What position does Marcus play?
Point guard.
Point guard. Yeah, they could use it. And point guard is offense, right?
I mean, it's offense and defense in
Okay.
basketball.
You switch sides.
Constantly.
I don't know anything. See, this is like explain like I'm 5 years old. But I do like watching the games and I do like chatting shit. So I'm doing my best, okay? Also, if you guys have any tips for me as to like what kind of channels to watch or who to like, you know, get inspired by as like commentators, especially women commentators. I love talking about the WNBA and hearing women talk about basketball as well. That's really refreshing for me. So if you have any like suggestions for content like that, leave it in the comments. All right, we're gonna get to our very last trade, and they're gonna talk about Dennis Schroeder, and he was traded to the Jazz, right? And then the Pistons,
Yep.
after specifically being like, I hate being traded like this frequently.
Yeah, I mean, the exact quote was the NBA trade deadline is modern day slavery. Then he kind of walked it back. He's like, we are making millions of dollars a year. I'm not trying to act like, but it is kind of crazy to have a bunch of old ass execs
Yeah.
deciding where you're going to live in the middle of February.
Right.
And
And
he had
again,
already, oh, my fault. He just had been traded from Brooklyn already this year. So, like a month and a half ago, he had made the move from Brooklyn to Golden State. And then got traded twice.
and we had talked about how he's like one of those mid-level good players. So it's like he's good enough for other teams to want him, but also the team that he's on often needs a better player for their like I guess championship goals.
Yeah.
That's a sucky place to be in. I hope he gets better and then he'll just be a really good player and then maybe he won't get traded as much. They'll just be like, we need you so bad. Or he'll be a worse player and then he'll just not be in the NBA at all. So it's really up to him, I feel like. Okay. So these were our NBA latest trades updates. I really appreciate every view. Let me know in the comments if I, needed to touch on a different trade that I missed out on. If there's something in the comments that I said that I should have expanded on, or you have some inside info, or whatever your favorite team is, let me know. And who you're rooting for. Like I said, I'm a big Wizards and Celtics fan. My man right here is a Celtics fan to the bone. And having lived in Boston, I totally respect the Celtics as well. All right. So thank you so much for watching. All right, everybody. This has been Recording Rissa's basketball trade discussion. All right. Hopefully, I'll be back online with some more basketball content as we get into March Madness. And I hope to feel better because I have been under the weather. So I'm really trying to post more frequently. All right, y'all. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe.